What happens if Zoro opens his left eye? The One Piece fandom will be in chaos. Social media, on fire. Forums, exploding. YouTube, flooded with theories. And it's all because of one thing: Zoro's scared, mysterious left eye. Shut tight since the time skip. Is it hiding ultimate haki, a cursed secret, or something even crazier? What if I told you the truth might be scarier than we ever imagined? Buckle up, because today, we're diving into one of the most heated and controversial theories in the One Piece universe. The truth behind Zoro's left eye. The ultimate mystery. Zoro's left eye has haunted One Piece fans for years. What's the deal? Is it the key to unlocking the most powerful future sight haki in the series? Could it be the physical manifestation of his conqueror's spirit, the legendary Eye of Ashura? Or, plot twist, is it just a scar because Mihawk doesn't play around during training? Whatever the case, today's the day I finally tackle this divisive theory. Now, I've avoided this topic for years. Why? Honestly, I didn't buy into it. Specialize? That's more Naruto than One Piece, right? But then the comments started piling up. Zoro's eye is the key to everything. It's going to reshape the entire story. And some of these theories, they're unhinged. So here I am breaking it all down. The pros, the cons, the what-ifs. By the end of this, we're either burying this theory once and for all, or I'll be admitting I was wrong while Zoro pulls out some Sharingan tier nonsense. Why the hype over Zoro's eye? In case you've been living under a rock or somehow skipped all the chaos surrounding this debate, let me catch you up. Ever since Zoro returned from the time skip with his left eye shut and scarred, fans have been buzzing. And honestly, I get it. It's got that vibe. You know the one Gojo Kakashi Kenpachi? The whole mysterious eye that hides world-ending power trope. It's an anime classic. So when Zoro the swordsman we already know is a walking hype train comes back with one eye closed, yeah, people started cooking up theories. Big theories. What if he's only been using like 1% of his true strength? What if he's saving this for a final fight against Mihawk? What if it's not even his scar? It's a freaking seal. And honestly, these are valid questions. Why? Because Oda, our troll king, has given us nothing. Not a single explanation. Just Zoro walking around like, yeah, I got one eye now. What of it? It's peak One Piece. What really happened during the time skip? Let's rewind. What do we actually know about Zoro's training with Mihawk? First off, Zoro, our prideful, mountain-slicing beast, humbled himself. He got on his knees and begged Mihawk for help. That's how much he believed in Luffy's dream. Honestly, iconic. Fast forward 2 years and Zoro shows up at Shabandi. Yes, Shabandi, because that's how it's written in Japanese, looking like an absolute monster. His armament haki, insane. His strength, off the charts, and his drip, immaculate. The man was ready. But here's the big question. What really went down during those 2 years? Was the eye injury just a freak accident? Did Mihawk push him too far? Or is it tied to something deeper? Something connected to Zoro's untapped potential? Why the eye theory won't die? Let's be honest. This theory survives because it's just plain cool. And anime fans love secret eye powers. Glowing eyes, crazy symbols, unlocking hidden potential, it's peak hype. And Zoro, with his whole demon aura and kingly ambitions vibe, he fits the trope like a glove. But let's not forget, this is One Piece. If Zoro's eye does have a hidden power, it's not going to be some Naruto-esque Sharingan knockoff. Oda doesn't roll like that. If anything, it'll be intricately tied to One Piece's world building, maybe something connected to Conqueror's haki, his Ashura form, or something we've never even imagined. Whatever it is, it's going to feel perfectly at home in this universe. That's the magic, the possibility. What if Zoro opens his eye during a pivotal battle and gains an unparalleled clarity? What if that scar is a seal holding back a power he's not ready to control? Or, and this is just me speculating, what if Oda's saving this moment for the grand finale? Whatever the case, when Zoro opens that eye, the internet will break. Guaranteed. So let's break this down. Just how much stronger is Zoro after the time skip? And does any of that strength have anything to do with a mystical, special eyeball? The post-Temesket monster. Zoro's always been the king of durability. This man has tanked absurd punishment, from Arlong Park to Mihawk's early sword lesson to the unforgettable nothing happened moment on Thriller Bark. But post-time skip, Mihawk didn't just train Zoro, he rebuilt him. The result? Terrifying. Take Dressrosa, where Zoro casually slices through Pika, a literal stone colossus. It's a massive flex, sure, but you could argue Luffy could have done the same. Fair point. But let's rewind to Punk Hazard. Remember the dragon? Probably not. It's easy to overlook. But this thing was a beast. It tanked Luffy's jet bullet in gear second and sent him flying like it was nothing. Zoro, though, he strolled up, used his one sword style, and sliced it clean like he was prepping sashimi. Now you might ask, cool, but what's this got to do with the eye? Fair question. On its own, feats like these don't scream special eye. But when you start connecting the dots, things get interesting. Zoro's haki. Here's where post-time skip Zoro gets ridiculous. It's not just raw strength, this haki evolution is unreal. And we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Conqueror's haki. Yes, Zoro's got it. And not just the entry-level kind. Oh no, my guy skipped straight to advanced Conqueror's haki, the kind Kaido himself acknowledges. That's right, Zoro made the king of beasts bleed. Bleed. Let that sink in. And here's the thing. Conqueror's haki is often tied to the eyes. The menacing stares, the overwhelming presence, the eye contact before a power flex, it's all part of the package. Think Shanks in Chapter 1. Luffy casually knocking out 50,000 fishmen. Katakuri's intense showdowns. The eyes are always involved. Now that Zoro's rocking advanced Conqueror's haki, it adds some weight to the special eye theory. Could Discard Eye be linked to this insane power-up? Maybe. But wait. Let's slow down. Foreshadowing and the Ashura factor. Let's get this straight. Kaido explicitly links Zoro's Ashura technique to Conqueror's haki, meaning Zoro's been tapping into this insane power since Enies lobby. That's right, long before Mihawk ever trained him. So timeline-wise, Mihawk didn't unlock some hidden eye power. It's been there all along, tied to Zoro's Ashura form. Now here's where I'll admit something I don't love to admit. Ashura might actually connect to Zoro's eye. The parallels are undeniable. The transformation, the otherworldly vibe. It's the kind of setup that screams, Oda's planning something wild. Could the eye be involved? I hate to say it, but maybe. While spiraling down the One Piece rabbit hole, as one does, I found something that might fuel the fire for all you Zoro eye theorists. This next bit, it's a game changer. Let's talk about Mihawk as Hawkeyes and wait for it, his connection to red-haired Shanks. Mihawk versus Shanks. Mihawk and Shanks. Rivals, frenemies, maybe something deeper, you decide. They used to clash swords back in the day, and while Mihawk's swordsmanship is regarded as superior, Shanks seems to have the edge when you factor in all their abilities. The big question is, why? Shanks has insane Conqueror's haki. He flexed it on Kit and made him rethink his life choices. His observation haki? Top tier. But here's where it gets interesting. Shanks developed observation killing, a power revealed in Film Red and confirmed in Volume 4 Billion. It's literally designed to shut down future sight. Why would he need this? To counter someone with even more advanced foresight. That someone, it's gotta be Mihawk. Which brings us to the eyes. Mihawk's Hawkeyes aren't just for aesthetics. What if they're not just part of his menacing vibe, but the source of his extraordinary observation haki? The scrapped title. Here's a juicy piece of One Piece trivia. Mihawk's original title wasn't Hawkeyes, it was clairvoyant. Yep, clairvoyant as in someone with supernatural vision, capable of seeing beyond normal perception, like glimpsing the future. This reframes everything. From the start, Oda tied Mihawk's abilities to seeing far beyond the ordinary. Take chapter 925, where Mihawk warns Perona to leave because of the reverie. Some argue he was just reading the news, but let's be real. Does Mihawk strike you as someone who panics over a headline? No. That moment strongly hints his observation haki is leagues above the rest. Now, here's the kicker. If Mihawk's eyes are tied to his clairvoyant-like powers, what if Zoro's scarred eye is a latent version of this ability? Maybe Mihawk saw the potential in Zoro to inherit this gift, but it remains dormant for now. It's the perfect setup for Oda to blow our minds in the final saga. Scrapped ideas, repurposed genius. Now I know what you're thinking, but wasn't that clairvoyant title scrapped? True, but Oda loves bringing back old, scrapped ideas in new ways. Peace Mains and Morgan-Ears were concepts from Romance Dawn, and they evolved into the fundamental good versus bad pirate theme we see throughout the story. So Mihawk's clairvoyant moniker, it could absolutely still be part of his character, just reworked into something more subtle, like his eye-based observation haki. And this ties back into Zoro. If Mihawk's eyes represent divine, observation-based power, then Zoro's scared and closed eye might be Oda's way of teasing a similar potential for Zoro. What if it's not just an aesthetic choice? What if Zoro's eye really does have latent clairvoyant-like power? Do I feel like a conspiracy theorist right now? Absolutely. But when the dots connect this cleanly, it's hard to ignore. And hey, if I'm wrong, at least we had fun diving down this insane theory rabbit hole together. Alright, let's talk about the big boss of the One Piece world, Imu, and how their eerie circular eyes might just tie into this whole Zoro eye theory. Because if I'm going to dig into Mihawk's special eyes, I can't ignore the fact that Imu has those same iconic ringed eyes. Yep. Folks, it's time to take this theory to the divine level. Now there's been a lot of chatter in the fandom about the potential connection between Mihawk and Imu because of these similar eyes. Some say Mihawk might even be Imu's son or share some other familial bond. And while that's a spicy theory, I think there's something even more profound at play here. These circular eyes, I believe, are Oda's way of marking characters who possess what I'll call divine future sight. Imu's divine observation haki. Let's take a closer look at Imu's abilities. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from the ending of chapter 1122. Imu, perched atop Mary Juice, seemingly senses an immense release of haki from Joy Boy's knot. Now, could this just be Imu tapping into some mind link ability through the Goro Sea? Sure. The next chapter even shows that Imu has some sort of connection to Saturn when they literally kill him through this link. But if we stick to established in-universe rules, the ability that fits Imu's awareness best is observation haki. Think about it. Observation haki allows people to sense presence, emotions, and even intent to cross incredible distances. Yasopp and Usopp demonstrate this kind of connection in Film Red, where their observation haki allows them to communicate across vast distances. And while the movie isn't canon, Oda has a habit of sneaking in elements from non-canon works into the main story. Remember Golden Lion Shiki? Or how Film Red confirmed Shanks' surname? Yeah, this could be another one of those moments. If Imu's eyes represent a divine level of observation haki, it would track that Mihawk's eyes, so strikingly similar, could be tied to the same ability. And if Mihawk passed even a fraction of this potential onto Zoro during their training, well, maybe there's something to the special eyeball theory after all. The holy symbolism, Mihawk, Imu, and the Bible. Here's where things take a weird theological turn. Mihawk is dripping with holy symbolism. The cross around his neck, his crucifix-shaped blade, Yoro, even his ominous ship, it all screams biblical. And guess what? Imu has similar vibes, especially when you consider their godlike authority over the world. Could this be intentional? Could Oda be drawing from religious iconography to build these characters' power and mystique? I think so. Now let's get even deeper. In Judeo-Christian beliefs, the evil eye is a powerful demonic glance that's said to bring harm or misfortune to anyone caught in its sight. Sound familiar? Because to me, that feels like the perfect metaphor for Conqueror's haki, especially for someone like Zoro, who's on the path to becoming the king of hell. If Zoro's eye holds this kind of power, it would align with his darker, more menacing persona. But wait, there's more. Admiral Fujitora blinded himself because he saw too much evil in the world, even calling his lack of sight a blessing. If we apply this idea to Zoro, it's like he's walking a tightrope between light and darkness. One eye open to the world and one eye shut to keep that darkness in check. It's poetic. It's symbolic. It's Zoro. Biblical connections, Luke 11:34. And just to hammer this point home, let's sprinkle in some scripture. In Luke 11:34, Jesus compares the eye to the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if they are unhealthy, your body will be full of darkness. That's literally Zoro in a nutshell. He's a man with one eye shut, caught between the light of his loyalty to Luffy and the dark path of his ambition and strength. So is Zoro's closed eye a manifestation of this inner struggle? Is it holding back a demonic power that could reshape his very essence? Or is it simply biding its time until the perfect moment? Whatever the case, there's enough evidence here to keep the theory alive, and honestly, maybe even thriving. The king of hell in Hindu mythology. Zoro is the king of hell, period. The man has fully embraced the darkness, and if there's anyone in the One Piece world who looks the part, it's him. That title carries weight, and if his so-called evil eye is part of that package, then yeah, it's time we seriously consider how this ties into his power, his character, and his journey. Now, here's where it gets spicy. I dove into some parallels with Hindu mythology, specifically the Asura, and oh boy, it's a rabbit hole you don't want to miss. In Hinduism, the Asura are demigod-like beings, often at odds with the Devas, the gods of light and order. These Asura are described as the enemies of the gods. Does that ring a bell? Oh, I don't know, maybe because Imu literally calls the D-clan the enemies of God. Zoro, being part of the Straw Hat crew, makes him one of those enemies. And if we tie this back to the Asura, malevolent beings walking the line between good and evil, Zoro fits the mold perfectly. The king of hell walking the Asura path, wielding dark power, that's Zoro in a nutshell. The Asura path and Hawks. But wait, it gets even better. While diving deeper into Asura lore, I stumbled upon a Buddhist text, the Great Calm Observation, which describes the Asura as being hawk-like in their ambition, always desiring to be superior to others, like a hawk flying high above and looking down on others. Sound familiar? It's literally Zoro's journey to surpass Mihawk, the hawk-eyed swordsman. The parallels are just too good to ignore.